Alright, welcome back, one and all, children of all ages, hopefully none too young to enjoy the show. We have something extra specially good today. This came as a request from a viewer. Squeaky chair. Not much I can do. Terribly sorry. I mean, I would be, more sorry enough to rectify the problem, but life is filled with challenges. This is now y'all's, not mine. I'm okay with it. These are very simple. These are the tin hi-fi, currently known as T2s. Now you'll notice the blue foamies are not on top of it. The stock cable is over here. And that I'm running an interesting setup here. This is I believe it's a Yin-Yu cable. Yes. Bloop. Yin-Yu. 8-core. 4 per side, balanced 2.5mm, using a 2.5mm balanced to 3.5mm unbalanced, or single-ended. Now, before all of you freak out and lose your shit, I tighten the gimbal. Keep in mind the easiest way to understand how you can and cannot adapt from something is very, very simple. In this order, from headphone to the headphone jack termination of a particular cable, whether it be replaceable or not. You may go from 2.5mm, 4.4mm, or XLR 4-pin balanced connection to a single-ended termination. You may downgrade. You may not upgrade. In other words, I can't take this 3.5mm unbalanced jack and then terminate it into a balanced connection. That will bloody well fry the hell out of something and leave you very, very unhappy. Your headphones might survive, or your amp might die. Your amp might not die, and your headphones might get fried. Or, hey, worst possible case scenario, everything goes to shit. So, remember that. From headphone to termination, balanced to single is okay. Single to balanced, no. Even if they sell the adapter, that doesn't mean it actually works. That just means that, hey, look, they found some people to get money off of. Hooray! Now that we have that out, I spent a little bit of extra time, and I've had these for quite a while. I am currently a little vexed by them, to be absolutely honest with all of you. The stock cable is nothing special to note. It's quite good at a 8-core that is still 4 per side, designed to be worn kind of like this, in the ear hole. I wear them like this. Unfortunately, that has led to a bit of a wobbly little jack, so it tends to lose connection. That also has to do with me manhandling the MMCX connectors a little too much. So, if you do swap cables, do be gentle. The last thing you absolutely want to deal with is a loose MMCX jack. I can see why people prefer 2 pins. I really can now. As much as they are very limited in their range of motion, that can be modified, that can be adjusted, given enough gumption anyway. But that's neither here nor there. These sound really nice. Really, really nice. There's a reason why they're so damn popular, is because they're good. For like $50, you get a damn good cable. You can wear it under ear, over ear, and anywhere in between, I suppose. So, we're at about the 5-minute mark, and I'm going to do this one a little bit quick because, all the information's out there. I'm just doing this for the sake of a request of a viewer. Do I recommend these? Yes, entirely so. They do come, as with all things, a few caveats. They are not amazing in any one regard. You can very slightly modify them. But they seem to hold a fairly... And I'm going to start guessing, because I haven't gotten my hands on the T2 Pro, nor have I gotten my hands on the T3 yet. But having my hands on the T2 and the P1, I can say that, without a shadow of a doubt, that these display Tin Hi-Fi's signature. That is a slightly rolled off low end, a somewhat elevated high. This is a dual dynamic driver. You have one for the mids to lows. I would say lows, but it really doesn't stretch that far. It does do things. It is present. It's there. It's just ever so slightly rolled. Rolled enough that certain things I have a hard time hearing. Now, they're not terribly sibilant out of the box, using silicones or using foamies. They're just damn good. And for those of you that do find sibilancy issues, I'm more inclined to blame the type of music you listen to, because on very over-recorded music, yes, sibilancy becomes an issue, but I find that sibilancy is an issue on most of the devices I would use to listen to it with. The music, that is. Whereas these are actually pretty damn nice. They display a very wide range. The highs have a nice little bit of a mix in there. It's not very, very flat, which I personally appreciate, and I'll get into that in a moment after some very slight modification that I have done. I will say yes, these get a recommendation for elementary schoolers' first monitoring headphone. Now, I have not had in my hands or in my ears or on my ears or any other delineation between actual monitoring equipment. I mean, there is the LCD2C, yes, but that's more of mixed and mastered for, mixed and mastered, it's not music. That's more of designed for a warmer signature, inherently. It's not meant for analytical monitoring purposes. Can you use it? Oh, yes, indeed. Same for the P1s. Can you use it? Oh, yes, indeed. But there are caveats to the sound, and you end up having to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I don't have studio monitors, actual speakers. No. So, going from the monoprice 9927s, which I called baby's first in-ear monitors, these are like an upgrade to that. Very much well worth the money. And I would then kind of put these under the substrate of elementary schoolers first in-ear monitor. Because stock, there's not too much bass, but it's present. There's not too much treble, but it's present. The mids are not entirely forward. The soundstage is relatively stout, but very wide. I swear I heard things coming from behind me in a proper binaural mix. These are really quite good for $50. Damn good cable. Nice, easy to touch, easy on the fingers. Really, really good and straight, and love it. The upgrade cable, do these run well off of balanced? Hell yes, they do. Do these run well off of tubes? Hybrid, yes. I would not put any of these things on a full tube, like a full analog tube, nor do I own one, such as the Dark Voice. But on hybrid tubes, yeah, these tube pretty well. That seems to be an inherent thing with dynamics. I really like these devices. So I mentioned the stage. Relatively stout, short, not narrow, fairly wide. Kind of like little itty-bitty speakers. The imaging, for $50, I would call it pretty damn on par with the price that you pay. It's nothing like planar, and this is why it's been vexing me so much, as I've come from much more good at imaging devices down to something that I just can't feel or agree that they have pinpoint accuracy. Not even nail point accuracy. Can they hit the hammer on the... Can they hit the nail on the head? Yeah, easily. You know where something is, relativistically speaking. Damn decent separation. Not exceptional. They're just low cost. Yes, $50 is low cost in the audio world, children. I know. Scary, right? Think about my poor wallet. It runs and screams from me. Nope, there it goes down. Oh, yeah. So, stock, these are really interesting. I quite like them. So then I decided to modify them, and I forgot that I could do the tape mod on these. Some people said, tape the back, tape the back. It, levels things out. No, 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 no. Don't tape the back. It makes it sound particularly hollow to my ears. What I did is I did something very similar to the P1s. I took this port, nozzle-biased port, and I decided to tape it. And immediately, with the 3M micropore medical tape, and you could use duct tape if you so feel, what I noticed is the bass went, ugh. It got angry. Holy shit, it was like Hulk in my ears. Just blah, 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 smash. Oh, God, yes. But another interesting thing happened. The highs became sort of a pseudo-sibilant mess. Not because they were elevated, no, they were in fact leveled out. And instead of becoming a nice hill and valley kind of thing, it was instead more homogenized in its being pulled down, with the bass being ever so slightly elevated. Not enough for a low-frequency effect, but the bass is definitely amplified when you do that. Theoretically, when I was playing with it, you could seal this back one off and get some of the more dynamic range, or the hills and valleys back on the response for the highs. But with it leveled out, I found it just had a near sibilant character to it. Because there was nothing very different between the different frequency points, nothing stood out, so it all just delivered along the same track. I didn't hate it, but I didn't really enjoy it. So on something very dynamic in terms of well-mixed, yes, very enjoyable. On something that was a brick shithouse of waveform, not as enjoyable. But these are also not planars. These also are not balanced armatures. They deal with poor mixing and mastering and over-recorded and just well-recorded music pretty well all the way around. They only sound ever so slightly washed out on stuff that just isn't very well recorded. Now, this video is going to be particularly short versus my normal spiel, because the information available on these are widely available. These came way before I decided to do my thing, but it was requested, so I decided to put in my few pennies of thought. So, yeah, get them. If you want to have a little bit of a new experience, try taping the port that is nozzle-biased. See how you like it. These are great. Yeah, honestly, they're really good as a very dirt cheap monitoring set. Not perfect, not studio quality, but, if you're in high school or you're a poor college kid and you need something that's really close to studio equipment, from my limited knowledge set and the limited amounts of stuff that I have available to me for $50 in here, I can postulate that, yes, these would probably do the job relativistically well. Not super-duper well, no, but they make a great stopgap. For just listening and enjoying music, yes, easily, great, awesome, totally recommend it. So, I suppose that's it. There's really not a whole bunch to talk about these. They balanced well, they tube really well, they take a butt-ton of power. You don't need a butt-ton of power. They're just really awesome. All-rounders. Praise all the way around. But before we go, very soon I'm going to have my final thoughts on the 10P1. There's been some things that I feel need stating and updating. That will be something I believe all of you should share. As far as the next device that I'm going to review, it will either be the HE4XX from Hi-Fi Man or the Advanced Audio GT3. The Cayenne will also be getting an appearance here soon for a sort of a Demi review. I don't really have many dApps. I have a cell phone, so, little fun there. But yes, look forward to the next video, and that's all I have. So, with all that being said, I suppose it's time. Have a beautiful day, a wonderful afternoon, a most pleasant night, and lovely dreams, my children. May you travel far and wide within the dreamscape. So long as you come back again soon to view me, Farsil, the wizard. Poof.